battle report? Probably not. But here's how I did at the tournament this weekend. So this weekend was the final RTT of the year for the local club. Side note, I don't know what RTT stands for. Please tell me in the comments. But it was a 1-day, 3-game tournament. There were about 15, 20 players there. And because I'm a consummate professional, I forgot to take pictures. Well, I forgot pictures for the first one, so this is the picture you get. Trigger warning for some fake blood. I brought my Sisters of Battle, who I call the Sisters of the Glittering Gore. My list is pretty standard sisters. It's still a lot of infantry because I just don't own that many tanks. It's not a super strong list. It's not really that meta of a list, but they're very good at scoring secondary objectives. My first round was against Mitchell and his Black Templar, and I got schmacked. I believe the final score was 100 to 45 him. So typically Black Templar are like a pretty horde style Space Marine army. They just have like lots and lots of dudes. This was not that. This was an elite army. There were 2 land raiders. There were multiple units of like Blade Guard veterans. And I don't know exactly how it works, but I think Black Templars all have a 6-up Feel No Pain, but he chose an enhancement or an ability that gave them all like a 5-up Feel No Pain. And when I tell you this boy was rolling like 60% of his Feel No Pains, I couldn't do anything. He was hitting me on like 2s. I was generally hitting him on like 5s or 6s, and I just couldn't do anything. So yeah, lost that battle 100 to 45, which I think was the worst loss I've ever had. Me versus the Thousand Sons, Magnus's. And I think this is one of the better games that I've ever played. Thousand Sons are probably the army that I understand the most because I've briefly considered taking them as my main army. I got to go first, and as you can see here, I was extremely aggressive in my deployment and initial move, which turned out to be really good for me. My opponent brought 2 Mutalith Vortex Beasts, a lot of Rubric Marines, and 2 tanks. And while there was some luck, I also was just playing really aggressively. I think I spent one entire turn just trying to take down one of the Vortex Beasts because they scared me, and they should. Look how cuddly and cute they are. Oh, don't you just want to have your entire army fire into it? I ended up winning this game. I believe it was 89 to 58. Again, sisters score really good at secondaries, and with my really aggressive deployment, I was just able to hold on to most of the primary points for the rest of the game. I'm 1-1. I'm going into the final matchup, and I get Chaos Space Marine. This was a deeply terrifying list. There were 2 20 stacks of Accursed Cultists, which if you don't know, they're able to regenerate models during each command phase, so you really have to stay on top of damage to take them out. And of course, he gets both of those units just right into the center of the field, and so I spend most of my time trying to take those out. Abaddon's in the backfield. He has so many marks of chaos. I don't know what's going on. Chaos Space Marines look like a really fun but also very complicated army to play. I continued to play aggressively. I was able to stay ahead of things for a bit. I made one really big tactical mistake. Something I do with all my Myriad units is I'm really good at screening out deep strikes in my backfield. And I was trying so hard to take out the Accursed Cultist in the center that I did open up a small gap in my backfield, and he dropped some Obliterators in, which are this unit that has like a 4-inch move, but they are unbelievably powerful. Which actually ended up being to their disadvantage because at one point he needed to take my deployment zone objective, but because the shooting of the unit was so good, he wasn't able to charge in because he ended up destroying the unit on the point. That, along with some really lucky shooting, this small squad of sisters managed to help take out this what is that? The big boy, big shooty boy, not very good at melee combat. And I managed to squeak out a victory 58 to 55, I think. Unbelievably close. Really cool opponent. That army, that list is wild. So I ended up going 2-1 on my second tournament ever. I really like the smaller tournaments. It felt a lot more casual. It was really chill. There was time in between matches and people were just there for a good time. And absolutely to brag, I scored second place in the hobby category. And the first place guy had a gorgeous set of Space Wolves and a beautiful terrain set up for it. Once I get one of those though, Joel, I'm coming for your first place. Anyway, let me know in the comments if these longer style battle report tournament reports are interesting to you, because I don't know what my content is anymore.